Hello class, teachers and receiving students. Thank you. You may sit down. Let's have a look at what we did yesterday. There were 3 questions which we gave for your homework in the last lesson. So our first question is, what does the blue litmus turn in the substance? Our first substance was sulfuric acid. We had hydrochloric acid, water. Some of you had vinegar. So we look at the 4 substances. What did we find out when we put the blue litmus into the sulfuric acid? Any answers? Yes? Thank you. Rachel?
It changed color to red.
Right, it changed to red when we put the blue litmus into the sulfuric acid. Some of you had pale orange, but generally it is red. So which your orange color you saw as orange is red. Orange is red, meaning that it is acid. Now what did we look at? What did we find in the hydrochloric acid? Welcome.
The blue litmus paper turned into red.
Thank you. Again, very good. The blue litmus paper turned red also. Some of you also had orange in color. Generally, when blue litmus is placed in, it is red. If you had orange, then it is positive that it is acid. Now water. Any others? Okay, good.
Water is colorless.
What is colorless? What did the blue litmus look like when we place it into the water?
Light purple.
Light purple. Rachel, again.
White and colorless.
White and colorless, good. Okay, water is neutral, so it remains the same. So that means water is the same. Now vinegar, the last one. Some of you had other substance, but the group that had vinegar. Diane? Any boys? We seem to have girls.
Red orange.
Red orange. Your group color was? What did you find? Orange or red?
Orange.
Okay, good. It is still positive that vinegar is an acid. Now in the last lessons that we had, between teachers and students, we looked at much of our items were fruits and vegetables. Now these fruits and vegetables contain weak acids. But today in our lesson we will be looking at 2 laboratory acids, which is sulfuric and hydrochloric acid. Before we go into that, we had 2 toy coins that I placed in here. Now what is your answer? What did you predict in our last lesson? before I show you the content. What did you predict in the last lesson? What do you think happened to the two coins in the first one with the Coke solution and the other with the sulfuric solution? Michael?
The one in the vinegar changes color and the one in the Coke remains the same color.
Okay, the one in the sulfuric acid changed color, and the one in the Coke remains the same. Right. I'll remove the one in the Coke. Thank you for the answer, Michael. I'll remove the one in the Coke. This is the one in the Coke solution here. Let's have a closer look at it. What do you see? Tell the class, what do you see? Mike, tell the class.
Some parts of the tooth turns black.
Turns black. Okay, good. Let's have another one. The one in the Coke.
The light brown color changed to black.
Okay, thank you. We have more hands on the side. We'll have our friend here. Come to the front. Okay, tell us what you see.
Little bit of black colors on it.
Right, thank you. Some of you may have the same answer. Just in the last lesson when we placed the Coke, this 2 coin into the Coke solution, it was dirty and rusty. But today, it is what? Beginning to be clean. So some parts of it is shiny and some parts still have the dirt on it. Okay. Sulfuric acid, which I cannot remove, is still reacting. What do you think will happen?
It might eventually turn rusty.
It will turn rusty. Okay. Any others? All right, we'll leave it and have a look at it during some of our lessons. Our question 2, homework, why did the blue litmus turn or change color in the substance that we look at? Any answers? Okay, Michelle. Come on, boys. The girls are giving all the answers. What's wrong?
The blue litmus paper changed color due to some acids in some of those substances, because some of those substances were acidic substances, so the color of the blue litmus paper changed.
Thank you for that very good answer. Well explained. Any others? Okay, we also look at question 3. Why didn't the blue litmus change color in some substance like water? Okay, thank you.
Some substances didn't change color because some they didn't contain acid.
Thank you for that well-explained answer. All right. Receiving teachers and students, if you do not have the substance, you may observe and do your questions or activity behind. Now, today in our lesson, before we go, our lesson's topic today is acids at work. How do we use those acids? Or how are acids used in our daily life? Our activities, there are two activities. Activity 1, you'll be experimenting with sulfuric acid and hydrochloric acid. Activity 2, you'll be answering short questions and a statement. Right. Our safety rules first, always. Number 1, can we read number 1 together, class? Thank you. Number 2. Thank you. That reminds you that you must handle it carefully. I placed it there twice. Number 3. Very important. Any spill, wipe with wet rags. Number 4. Right. Any accident. If you spill, you break, report it to your teacher quickly. Now, what will happen if, have a look at your substance in front of you. What will happen if some of the drop of acid are put onto the newspaper, piece of newspaper that you have with you, and the piece of cloth? A few drops. What will happen? You have in 2 test tubes. In test tube A, you have hydrochloric acid. In test tube B, you have, what is it? Sulfuric acid. Good. You have sulfuric acid. Now these are dangerous. When they are not diluted, they are dangerous. When they are diluted, they are also dangerous. So be careful not to spill or touch your skin. Okay, you will follow the instructions at the time. So, what do you think will happen? Any other answer? What do you think will happen? Good. I hear some discussions. Good. That's good. What do you think will happen? This group is very good. They are discussing. What do you think will happen? Fiona. They're still discussing. Okay. Somebody in your group want to give you answers? Thank you. We'll have Michael.
The color of the newspaper and the cloth will change.
Right, very good. That is what he thinks will happen when we do the experiment. Thanks for the answer. Right, we shall go straight into our activity. Your activity number 1. Every time you use the pipette, you rinse quickly. When you suck out the sulfuric acid and hydrochloric acid and place them on the cloth or the paper, you rinse it quickly into the half-cut container or beaker with water. Rinse it quickly after you finish with your experiment. All right, instruction number 1. That is instruction. Follow. Activity 2. Right, activity 2, you have chips of limestone with you. Chips of limestone with you. You only use one piece, one small piece. Put it beside. You only use one small piece or one small chip of the limestone and drop it into the test tube A, which contains hydrochloric acid. So this time you're using hydrochloric acid and not sulfuric acid. Now observe and record. Is it? What will happen? All right. It will take a while. You can see some reaction there. Tell me what you see on the cloth. Anyone would like to give me what their group has found on the cloth? Okay, we'll have Abby, thank you. And then we'll have Korai. Any boys? Come on, boys. Then we'll have Iowa. Any others apart from Iowa? Yoa. Thank you, sorry. All right, we'll start with Yoa and come to.
When few drops were added on the cloth, the acid didn't go through, but it expanded, and the color of the cloth changed to orange.
Thank you for your group's answer.
When a drop of sulfuric acid added on the cloth changed its color to light orange.
All right. Abby, thank you for your answer. Let's have Abby and her group's answer.
When we added a few drops of sulfuric acid to the cloth, it changed color from gray to orange.
Very good. Thank you for your group's answer. Now, my next question is, when there is a color change, what does it tell you? You have the gray cloth. You have this gray cloth here. And when you drop the sulfuric acid onto it, the color changes. So what does it tell you when the color changes? Yes, it is acid. Some are whispering acid. Yes, it is acid. But the color change. What does it tell you when the color change? Good, thank you. We'll have you. Rexy.
It tells us that acids work.
Yes, it tells you that acid works. What does it tell you also?
Changing the color changing.
The color changes. So, when the color changes, what is happening? What is happening when the color changes? Your uniforms. You buy new ones, they're bright colored. Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Sit down. They're bright colored, but every time you wash with soap and all those things and they change color, and what is it telling? Yeah, color is fading, but what is happening when color is fading, like this one there? The one that we have. Boys. Juanita, we'll come back to Eddie. Juanita?
It's a sign that the cloth is burning.
Okay, very good answer, Eddie.
It tells us that acids are burning the cloth.
Very good, thank you. That was well said answer. Good way of thinking. But today, we will hang it somewhere in our classroom, and we will come back in the next lesson, and we will see what will happen to it. Okay? So we'll see what will happen in the next lesson. Thank you for your answers. These are the two questions that I would like you to jot down. The question, activity. Somebody can write the sentence. Fast reader and fast recorder for the group. Your next question. Sorry, question number 2. First one was the question number 1. What would you do? Question is, what would you do? Good. Some very fast writers. I finished. Our summary for today. Our summary point number 1. Can someone give us, let me see who is going to give us the key phrase for today. Right, Winnie will. Thank you, Winnie. Volunteer to give us the key phrase for today.
Acids can bend.
Right on the target. Acids can bend. Very good. You must have read it before we came. Our next lesson, teachers and students, is let's find bases and materials that you will be needing for your lesson. Bleach, bar of soap, washing powder, dishwashing detergent like Action or liquid detergents, shampoo, toothpaste, and always a bucket of water and empty containers or beakers for you to use. With that, thank you receiving teachers and students and class.